Okay, now we're live.
We're live on the internet.
Jayson has been replaced by a book cover.
And we were just talking about
now available officially on audible.com.
Thank you. You beat me to it. So I was going to say, for people who are listening, they can now go and get the book on Audible. And the person who actually voiced it was pretty good too. And it's just actually another amazing milestone, to be honest, because all of the quarterly books now that come out they'll go through the same system of steps to bring it from manuscript to published to Audible to all of that, and the royalties are pretty good too, which is actually true. Like, it's actually been pretty good. And so people who have read the book and now who are going to listen to the book, thank you in advance. We just appreciate you so much. And the feedback we're getting from the book is also really good. Simple, easy read, great refresh for people who have been practicing the process for some time, and a great way to introduce family members and colleagues and people that you care about who would benefit from the gift of this process in their lives. Quarterly book series. I love it.
And we've got only 48 very positive 5-star reviews on the book. So we just need to get that up. Good. We just need to get that up a couple hundred more, I think. Yeah. So for anyone listening, if you want to help, make sure you go into the Amazon account there, and you've got the book, you've read a copy, and you've had it, or you've listened to the audio now that it's fresh on Audible. It's actually available on multiple like audio platforms. It's just, I mean, Audible, let's be honest, Audible has got the lion's share of the market, I think.
All day long. Yeah.
It took a while. And it took like 35 days or 40 days for it to show up actually officially on Audible. So
that's really interesting. And but thank goodness it's done. And especially at this time of year as well, for people who are thinking about, it's that time of year. People are thinking about the holidays, and they're thinking about, hey, what can we get for somebody that's a bit unique? And I know a lot of people who just love to listen to books versus read them. And so great accomplishment, really excited about it. And for the, how many people on planet Earth are tuned in right now? 3?
Looks like we're rocking 8 magical, involved people.
I love it.
I'm going to take a wild stab that Ken Anders is one of them.
Yeah, we're live on planet Earth, and from the billions and billions and billions of people, man, there's 8 people tuned in to our Facebook Live. This is great. It's actually a step up from previous sessions, but the good thing is that Facebook and the YouTubes picks up that we're doing this every Friday. Like the algorithm is one of the listeners. Like, hey, thanks for being back, guys, and you're doing this regularly. We say that in good humor because we have.
I love that guy, Al. Old algorithm. That guy, he is something else, eh?
Totally. Super nice guy. Learns quickly.
Loves his data and his analytics,
But hey, so we did a live event last week, which was really awesome. It was on a Friday.
Just a little bit of an event, right?
Well, it was just a tiny bit of an event. Yeah, we filled the room, sold out, and then had people literally lined up who wanted to get in, who just showed up at the venue. Let me in. Ah. And then, it was great. We had our entire team. Ken's here. Hey, Ken, how you doing? Maybe we should just bring Ken on, right? We're going to let Ken do the Facebook Lives on Fridays. See if he can get more than 8 people on the planet to tune into our deal. But it was a super awesome event. The whole day from start to finish was amazing. And the whole theme being around family banking, creating the family banking system, or improving the family banking system, or expanding the family banking system. That was the theme for the day. And everyone that we've been connecting with at the event, following the event, has just told us how impactful it was. And we also got a great idea from an audience attendee who said, you should create a youth group and have kids because my daughter Charlotte spoke at the event. She's 10 and went over super amazing. She had the crowd engaged and laughing, and honestly, objectively, she did a really great job. And
She's amazing.
We just, my quick start tendencies kicked in. Justin reached out. He's like, "You got to do your Colby again because I'm positive that you're a much higher quick start." And we were already initiating the IBC, the Infinite Banking Concepts Youth Group. And in fact, today is the first session of reels that we're recording with Charlotte. So every Friday after 5 p.m., so whenever in the Friday evening that's going to work for her, she's going to be sitting right here and we're going to be recording reels that we're going to get out there on the internets and start talking about, the Infinite Banking Concepts Youth Group. And then as that grows, then we're going to have we'll do sessions where we have parents with their children coming into the IBC youth group sessions. And we're just having these really, really good discussions about the concept and how it works in the family. So super exciting.
It's really awesome. Very awesome. And, I'm curious. I wonder if we can get Ken to join us on the event. Let me see if I can. I'll message him.
He's like, "I'm in my PJs, dude. This isn't happening. Well, you got to give me more notice."
he might be driving in his car or whatever. But Ken, if you want, I just sent you a Facebook message. Check your messenger and with a link. And if you want to hop in and just share what came up for you in the event, you were there. You were an active participant in the event, which was great. And so if you wanted to just volunteer to chime in and share some of your thoughts about what you took away from the session and some of the learning that went there, maybe some of the networking that you did, that would be pretty cool. So I think you're on the YouTubes, maybe not on the Facebooks, but I don't know how to send you a direct message through this platform to the YouTube. So I just sent it to you through Facebook. So anyway, check it out. if you pop in, we'll bring you in and we'll have a little chat. But one of the really cool things that happened, other than the amazing positive feedback, there was some really incredible sessions from yourself, Jayson. There was, obviously, we had Vern up talking about his family banking system, Sarblo talking about his family banking system. Everyone was very, from our team, my perspective and the feedback I received from people in attendance was that it was very, it was kind of raw being like, look, we just opened the kimono and said, look, this is what we're doing. This is our system. This is what we got going on. And, I think that really came across in a really powerful way, and talking about how, people are capitalizing, where did they start, how their policies have increased and gotten progressively larger, the utilization of them, that sort of thing, I think was really good. One that was a really good takeaway, I had some people really love Sarblo. He talked about how he negotiated with a landlord paying the rent for a property annually instead of monthly, and he got like a 20% discount.
Yeah.
And that was huge. And so he continues to make that same payment. The difference is it's all going back into his family's control. And, that's being an honest banker. That's not stealing the peas. And that's just one example of doing that. And there's so many little examples like that along the way.
We just had, Sarbo and I had breakfast together this morning, and we're just talking about the impact of just sharing. You never know what that's going to spark in terms of the imagination of the person receiving that, to hear how he utilized his system to get a few deals done on the real estate side of things, and to do this, prepayment of rent for an entire year and getting the discount. And people, you could just see people lighting up with, oh, wow, okay, well, if I can do that, for my rental real estate, maybe I can do that for the commercial real estate that I lease for my company and for my office. And so it started to, really spark the imagination of folks. And we did, so we got a great question here. Did you record the event? Absolutely. So everything was recorded professionally. We had a great crew there. They captured the event from start to finish. That's going to end up living in the client portal. It's also going to end up being sliced and diced for the YouTubes, and some real footage and all kinds of stuff that we're going to get out onto social media to let people know that the family banking, system, that model, is something that we're going to be touring the country in 2023, and having multiple live events coast to coast, and talking to Canadians, and really helping to to open people's eyes to this whole new financial world, especially with the current environment that we're in, rising inflation, rising interest rates. Rich, you and I have talked about this so many times where we were literally shouting it from the rooftops in periods of the lowest interest rate environments that we've ever been in periods where inflation was not spiking or spiraling out of control. And we would tell people, because one of the most frequently asked questions that would come up in a boot camp is, what happens when inflation rises and what happens when interest rates go up? Everything that we communicated to people then is what's real now. So clients are reaching out to us going, I heard you guys say it. I remember the questions coming up, but now it's real. And this is really one of the only assets on my balance sheet that hasn't been interrupted in its growth at all. It just keeps getting better. And Equitable, or whatever life carrier it is that you have your participating policies with, if it is with a mutual company, it's even better because they're thriving in this environment. There's a reason for that. There's a reason that they engineer the money pool to be able to thrive in periods of high inflation and rising rates of interest, and to come out the other end even more capitalized than they were going in. Like, the influx of capital coming into the insurance company right now is mind-boggling. Assets under management grew 800 million last year alone, from 6.2 to 6.8 billion. We're going to break 7 billion this year. We were talking about a $4 billion money pool 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And so
it's only a little increase, no big deal.
What an amazing time. And Equitable, I mean, they keep telling us, like, you guys are really key drivers to getting the message out there in the marketplace and to driving the growth. And it's like, yeah, well, it's pretty fulfilling to do when you never have a client reach out to you going, I'm really pissed off that my cash values keep going up every day and my dividends keep getting better in yield and my paid up additions keep rising. And if I live a long time, I know I'm going to be great. And if I die early, I know my family's going to be great. Like, nobody's calling us, complaining about that. So, wow, what a great position to be in. And that's just with the tool. That has nothing to do with the process.
Well, it's funny that I was just met with a client here recently, right before the event, and we have another meeting kind of coming up here in about 2 weeks. He wants to expand his system. He's had another child, so we're getting another child policy, etc. He just sold a property, and he's come into a windfall of money. He wants to see if he can get that working in his program. Yeah. He great guy, young guy. He's done really well. He's in his 9th year right now, so he's
nice
in his 9th year on one policy, 8th year on 2 other ones. Yeah. And he's got live steam. So Jason and I, we've talked about live steam a lot. We talked about live steam at the Family Banking Summit event. And I just did the quick math. So he's got one policy, the smaller of his 2 on his life, because he's the primary breadwinner. His premium is $12,907. Okay. And this year, by the time he gets to the end of the year and he receives his dividend at the end of this policy year, so he's already about halfway through, his cash will have accumulated. His policy values will have increased to $17,105. Wow. So he put in 12.9 and he got 17.1 back out. His total net increase is $41.98. So he put in $12,907 and the insurance company piled up $17,105. So he's ahead almost $4,200 in that 1 year in his asset value, plus the increased death benefit.
That's a Mike Tyson, prime of his career, punch in the face to inflation. Like,
he's got 3 of them. He's got 3 of them.
That's amazing. And another great question. Client portal, got it. ETA. So Moses Tian on our team, who's phenomenal. So he's going to get that all coordinated. Typically, for content specific webinars, live events, takes about 4 weeks for all of the curating of the video to happen, because we've got a full day of footage and we're going to be chopping that up into, probably it's going to end up being about, a couple hundred pieces of snackable content for social media, and then the actual session by session in the client portal. So I would say about a month or so before it lands in there. But so here's what's interesting.
Before you jump ahead though, so I just want to I'm going to put a comment here too. there's in the Ascendant client portal, we had our September client coaching event. And so
Yeah.
it took a while to get those videos up, but they're up as of this week. I was doing
Cool.
some policy reviews and discussion with clients. And so we had a really amazing session.
Okay.
So anyone who is a client of Ascendant Financial, make sure you go check out your client membership site, because there is some amazing new content there, and in the deeper dive section under the client coaching. So the September client coaching event, there was some really good stuff that we covered in there. Good discussion. So make sure you go and check it out.
Love that. Yeah. Thank you for mentioning that, Richard. And um, every quarter, each session is fully recorded and gets archived and lives in the portal. That portal will be getting a complete brand over. It's going to be completely um, overhauled to make the learning experience and the journey through the content amazing. So we're working with a company that's helping us do a complete brand overhaul. It's going to be named Ascendant Plus, and on the Ascendant Plus platform, the whole journey is going to just be so simplified and easy to, really control your experience in that platform, to be able to customize the content that you want to see showing up there, and so much more. So we're really doing a lot of innovating with that based on what clients are telling us about their experience. And so we're listening and investing time and energy and money into,
Resources.
yeah, into making it better. And the tools that we're going to innovate over the next 3 years as part of our next painted picture vision, the tools that we're going to innovate are going to be absolutely game-changing tools. And if you go to the Ascendant website, I don't know if you can share a screen on this, but if you go to the Ascendant website, you can see our new painted picture vision there
I'll bring it up.
with a recording of that being unveiled. And so you can see what our painted picture vision is for the next 3 years. And we would invite anybody to just go there, view the recording, or just read word for word in its original format what we're setting out to achieve over the next 3 years, 2023 through 2025, because our previous painted picture vision is accomplished. We achieved it. Oh, there we go. So yeah, if you click on, there it is under painted picture vision. And then if you click on watch it.
Oh, that's new. That just got added yesterday then.
Yeah, Moses just messaged me about it. So this is our entire team, and we're unveiling the painted picture vision. And directly underneath that, you can just go ahead and read it word for word. And we are all over getting geared up here for this next 3 years, and what we're going to be doing to continue to grow the business and to get our clients excited about expanding their use of and implementation of the process. It's just totally awesome. And so there you have it, painted picture
That's very
vision.
cool.
And
Well, and
super cool, because for people who don't even know what that is, like, what is a painted picture vision? You're looking ahead to a future date, and you're painting a picture of everything that's already been done, so that when you read it out loud as a group, the human brain, your human brain, is immediately getting to work on making it real, because the human brain is incapable of doing anything extraordinary. You have to program the brain on what exactly it is that you want the brain to do. And so that's what we do with the painted picture vision. And the first go around was a huge success. And the second go around is also going to be a huge success. And it's just awesome, man. I'm freaking pumped about it, because we just unveiled it like
yeah,
when was
yeah,
it?
last week,
Last week,
Thursday.
last Thursday.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we're kind of
yeah.
pumped.
And we got a couple of course, nice comments again. So from Ken, he's mentioned woo about the client portal update, and
Nice.
Timothy says he's going to check it out tonight, which is great. Thanks, Timothy. And of course, Ken's decided that he's going to pause his binge of Andor and go to the client portal tonight. So thanks, Ken, for your commitment to your learning. It's appreciated.
May
Well
the force
done.
be with
And
you.
yeah, may the infinite
And may
making
your cash value be with you too.
put you along. Another thing I'd like to just talk about real quick is that I know we have a short window of time here before you have to hop into the next meeting, but one of the things we did at the event on last Friday was we had a conversation with a bit of a great breakout session with basically everyone in attendance. They got to do some partner stuff, or they got to do some reflection, and then we did a planning your family banking meetings kind of a group exercise. And so there was some really cool things that came out of it, and we were able to take some pictures of some of the group work at the end of the day. So there was one question being, what would you want to see happen, or what are the things you would want to make sure were at your family banking meeting, your annual meeting? Where would you want it to be? Who needs to be there? What are the things you need to talk about? And then the second question is, what is the impact if you did that on a regular basis? And so I have a couple, just was able to grab a few of the pictures from the people took on the walls here, and I'm just going to bring up my screen and just show a couple of these. So this is kind of the some of the stuff that was covered on the first question. So again, what do you want to make sure that you can go over and stuff there? So here's some stuff talking about what are the loan terms that people need to follow, who is all going to be in the family banking system, how are you going to deal with withdrawals and implementation, who needs to be covered, again, what location are you going to do it in? So some just high level things. Here's one, people saying, okay, well, we need to have our kids and the grandparents there. It should be a vacation, so it's memorable, a fun environment. Bring the extended family if you can. Maybe consider a lawyer and accountant there, and even a financial advisor. So, example, have your coach, your infinite banking coach, maybe participate or be able to dial in with a Zoom call to join you. What loans you want to take out and what for, planning ahead for the next year, that kind of thing. How should you pay them back? Making sure you're following your loan schedule, celebrating wins. When should you start your next policy? Talking about the generational impact, not just seeing it happen, but talking about how you want it to happen, celebrating wins, really getting clear on why you're doing this in your life, setting your rules, understanding the rules, Nelson's rules, and maybe there's some specific rules as a family you want to adopt that you want to make part of your own family meetings, and how to plan for windfalls. So just really good stuff. Again, so a lot of people agreed that it should be someplace warm. So tropical seemed to be a buzz term there. You could do it online if you needed to.
We're going to plan it. We're going to do a retreat.
Yeah, I agree. I think that'd be great. Talking about investment opportunities and just making sure you have an agenda, and you're bringing up points from the book, Nelson's book, Becoming Your Own Banker, was, again, good suggestions. Looking at your progress, taking a look at where you've come, where you've gone, how far things have moved forward, making it informal, have some food and drinks, enjoy yourself. Again, do something out of the ordinary and bring the entire family. I like how simple this this one is. They kept it real high level.
Shelly left a great comment. She says it was a great event. Thank you to both you and your team for putting this event together. Shelly, you're awesome. And for folks who just saw Richard pull that comment up into the video feed, connect with Shelly. Like, she is an incredibly talented music artist, like incredibly talented. And so please, connect with her. She's amazing. And thanks for being there, Shelly. You're awesome.
And thanks for being on the live here as well, Shelly. Much appreciated. So the next question was really about the impact. If you did this on a regular basis, once a year, you got the family together to do those things, what would be the impact of that over time? And so here we get into kind of some of those second questions. Having unity, staying focused as a family, creating accountability, looking ahead so that you can have better control, being prepared for opportunities, creating peace of mind, being less dependent on traditional banks. Right now, that's more important than ever. Always expanding, everyone being on the same page. Again, unity. So the family, fostering deeper connections within your family. So here we're talking about this idea of the financial world, which in most households and strife, and Jayson, you shared this, the idea of talking about finances in the family was never something that came up when you were growing up as a kid. Not really when I grew up as a kid either. And it becomes this thing of strife. And we're trying to bust that loose with a sledgehammer so that we can make that actually a bonding experience instead of what people usually visualize it as. Again, having more transparency, making it memorable. So just really, really cool things about the impact, the feeling of control, generational mindset, being on the same team.
It's all in the way that we think, because look at it from this perspective too. And we talked a little bit about this in some of the breakouts with folks, to say you can get the whole family together to watch your favorite sports team play a game, but you're struggling with the notion of getting the family together to talk about creating everything that we're describing here. Why is that?
Yeah.
Right? It's because everything begins with the way that we think. And so if you look at this as a source of fulfillment and energy and joy and celebration and something to look forward to and be very energized about, your thinking begins to change around that, because a lot of families simply don't know how to do that. And that's what we're here for. We're here to help coach through it and help people get ready to receive the inspiration to actually implement that within their family. And then once you begin to do it and you approach it from that vantage point, and you're not approaching it from a technical standpoint, let's talk about numbers. Let's talk about, dollar figures, money. Let's talk more so about the legacy that we want to create as a family. Let's talk about mobilizing our financial resources, because that's what the wealthy do. And we can either continue to view the wealthy as being the villains, or maybe they're onto something. And maybe we could do something where we mobilize our resources and we keep the money in the family. And we tune out all the noise, because the media, the Hollywood, they do a great job vilifying successful, abundant, wealthy individuals, families, etc. And we have to move past that. We have to think differently, because you deserve abundance.
Mm-hmm.
You really do. And it's to whatever degree you want to create for your family. And that's what we're talking about. And that's what we're going to be educating about. And that's the course content that's coming out, the family banking system. And we're going to be teaching and encouraging families to do this. And imagine the effect that that's going to have, not just on this generation, but the future generations that come after, that aren't only receiving money, they're receiving knowledge with the money. And what a powerful impact you can have on a family and future generations. And if you're uncomfortable, that means that you're stepping into a place of growth. That's a good thing, right? Nelson used to say it all the time. How did he describe it? No pain,
no gain,
no growth. When he had to go start working out and exercising when he was in his early 50s, and somebody sat down with him and said, like, Nelson, you need to start exercising. Like, we're really concerned about your health. And he learned very quickly, no pain, no growth. And so we got to break through some barriers with people in their way of thinking. And so I just thought I'd add that, because it came up, on that day, where people are like, oh gosh, I'm not going to have a conversation about this with family. Well, do you sit down to a meal together? Yeah. Do you like sports? Oh yeah. What's it like watching a hockey game together as a family? Oh, it's amazing. We got the popcorn out. We order in Chinese food. Everybody's having a great time. Okay.
Not much different.
So
priorities.
Anyhow.
And one other piece on that too, Jay, I would just say is, like, we did this event, and it was open to the general public. Obviously, we had lots of existing clients and policyholders and attendants. Some of those were people that had maybe not been overly engaged in the last number of years. That happens. We get busy in life, and sometimes we have people who are engaged, to the nines, and then others who, for whatever reason, life has gotten in the way, and they've taken themselves out of the learning path. Right. What happens is, again, just like Nelson talked about, not working out frequently, you get muscle atrophy. You got to go and rebuild those muscles again.
That's
so
right.
There were people in the room who were looking to rebuild those muscles. I had conversations with people doing that. In fact, I spoke to one of them this morning before this chat, and they were just invigorated by the event, to be in that group of people, to be participating in an exercise like this, talking about the impact of what this will do for their family. And further to that, we had a lot of people in the room who aren't clients, aren't infinite bankers, haven't gotten started, some of which probably don't even have any idea what infinite banking was before they walked in the room.
Right.
And we didn't teach them what infinite banking was in the room. That wasn't the purpose. So they were getting it by the time the event was over. And again, so by inviting people your close friends, family members, people that coworkers that you care about to an event like this. We're going to have more of them. That's part of how we spread Nelson's message. It's part of how you get more people involved in that giant mutual pool that you co-own together, so we can get more capital flowing to that co-ownership pool for the benefit of everyone in the pool.
Precisely. Well said. Perfectly said.
I have my moments.
Hey man, that's awesome. It was such a great day, and wow, I'm still honestly still coming down, from it. And because our team's been talking about it all week with all the interactions that they've been having with folks who were there. And so and there will be another big event in Edmonton next year. We're also planning, like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be doing major cities across the country. It's going to be pretty amazing. And in fact,
when are we lining up for like the GTA area, Toronto area? Are we thinking
it'll likely be February, I think. But here's what's interesting too, is that at the Traffic and Conversion Summit, the marketing summit that Moses, Devin, and I attended in San Diego, one of the speakers who was there, who coordinates this event and is very well connected in that community, Ryan Dice, he said the next 3 years are going to be some of the biggest live event years that we've ever seen. So when you're connecting and coordinating a live event with folks, expect to have really, really great feedback, attendance, because people are just craving that, gathering together and being in that environment. And so we're not wasting a second of time. Like, we are putting together a road show, and we're getting out there and bringing people together and having these amazing discussions and coaching and educating them. So we're pretty pumped. Stay tuned for the tour dates. Kind of like, we're going to have like it's actually going to be pretty awesome. We're going to have t-shirts that have all the dates of all the cities that we've been to, and people are going to be able to line up and buy merch like they do at a rock concert. It's going to be so cool. I'm so pumped about it. It's good.
It's good. It's good. All right, man. Well, we'll talk to you later. And for everyone else, thanks for attending. Have a great, amazing Friday. If you're catching this on the replay, well, you should have been here when we did it live. But I'm still glad that you're here now. And go ahead and leave a comment down below.
Okay. I appreciate you, man. I'll catch up with you at the top of the hour.
Sounds good.